Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Friday is my general around the league video, talk about other teams and what they have done and where they're going. I did get to see the game last night, at least half of it. I got the kids in bed and I got to watch the second half. And it was pretty fun to watch, especially like if you didn't have a dog in the fight like me. It was pretty fun to watch. So the Rams took another L. Now, as I say, all L's are not the same. This is in no way as hurtful for them as that double nickel dropped on them by the Bucks last week, but still, it probably hurts pretty bad because they needed to bounce back from that. But Goff, to me, you know, I'm not a hater of Goff, but I don't talk up Goff very much. Last night he looked pretty good. He looked, especially in that 2-minute drill, in those 2-minute drills, he was just hitting Cooper Kupp and those little outs and stopping the clock. It was real methodical and real good. He did almost throw a couple of interceptions though. He did do that, but he did get these uncharacteristic drops. Cooper Kupp dropped one, and then the tight end dropped another that was intercepted that really put them in a bad spot. But again, they fought back and they put their kicker in a position to win and still lost it. So that's what happens in the NFL some weeks. And I fear that is our destiny for one of these weeks in the NFL. We set our kicker up and the same thing happens. Russell Wilson looks really good as usual. The preseason reports of Seattle being dead were greatly exaggerated. They look just as good as normal. And at the end, they will be there. And maybe the Rams too. The Rams may get their things together and be there at the end. Other things around the league. Minnesota, I try to tell wifey that she don't want to listen. I tried to tell her when they got Kirk Cousins. She didn't want to listen. But that's a perfect example of a team that had chemistry the quarterback wasn't great, but they had chemistry. They were working well, but then they thought they needed to go get a better quarterback and spent a whole bunch of money on Kirk Cousins. And to me, I thought he would break the Vikings, and he might have broken the Vikings. Now, when you got Diggs, I want him completely out of there now. So thank you, Kirk Cousins. Now we're going to have to deal with Diggs going to Seattle or Philly. That's my prediction. And you know, there's always the Patriots, but those three teams are always my prediction when a big name becomes free. But the Patriots, if he goes to the Patriots, he will fit in exactly where Antonio Brown left off and be great for them. So hopefully he goes to the AFC and don't go to Seattle or Philly. Sam Darnold, speaking of Philly, Sam Darnold said he's about ready to play from his back with mono. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. We'll keep our eyes on that game and just hope for the best. But Philadelphia's going to beat the draws off the Jets. They're going to have an easy victory, and it's going to put all kind of pressure on us. But I'll be watching that early. And another interesting note of this week, Saquon Barkley is already cutting in practice and already looking like he might be back earlier than expected. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the Giants as well. They're playing that Vikings team that seems to be in turmoil, and you know, I wasn't expecting the Giants to be good enough for us to pay attention to. But if they win this Sunday, we might want to keep looking at them. And also at 1 o'clock we have the Bucks versus the Saints. Now again, Bruce Arians is my boy. I'm a big fan of that guy, and I want to see how he handles this Saint defense. Evans and Godwin are big time receivers, man. They're playing monstrous too. So I want to see what they do against the Saints defense, and that's pretty much it. I want to see this week. The Gruden watch. Oh, actually, this is not a good year for both Grudens, but the Gruden watch is completely on in Washington. They're a hot mess, don't even know who they're going to start at quarterback, and this is the absolute worst time for them to see the Pats. Sunday night, that's something to watch. Pat Mahomey, I like that commercial. Pat Mahomey will surely entertain us, and Tyreek Hill is almost back for them, so they look pretty strong. Their defense doesn't look strong, but if they just keep pouring points on people, it's going to be a moot point. And last thing, on Burflick's suspension, I'm like, oh, well, when the Raiders signed those two guys, Burfict and Antonio Brown. They should have known. They should have known that this was at least a possibility. They should have known. And now this is like, they knew this could be a scenario. This is possibly the worst case scenario for both of those players. So I'm sorry, Raiders, but I mean, you really should have known. All right, tomorrow I'll take a final look at the Cowboys versus Packers game, and we'll get an insight on the injuries and who's going to play and who's not going to play and things of that sort. So, all right, guys, enjoy your night. Be safe out there. Peace out.